When he was a boy, Ron Davis taught himself the alphabet by modeling letters out of mud. Whenever Ron tried to read letters on a page, they just wouldn't hold still. They turned upside down, reversed into mirror images, disappeared, and then appeared again in different places. Teachers and classmates called him retarded.
What I wanted to be is I wanted to be like everybody else. So I tried and I tried and I tried, and the only thing that I could do is I could fake it. My problem is that not only didn't I think with the sounds of words, I didn't speak very well. So I either didn't speak at all, or when I tried to speak, it was so shameful for me that I was just very quiet. I just stayed very quiet.
As a child, Ron Davis was labeled a Canner's baby, a term used in reference to the work of Dr. Leo Kanner, a pioneer in the study of what we call autism today. Ron Davis also had dyslexia, an inborn perceptual talent possessed by about 20% of the world's population. This talent made Ron Davis highly imaginative and creative, and it also interfered with his learning to read.
They were both looking at
As an adult, Ron Davis became a successful engineer, artist, and businessman, in spite of the fact that he was functionally illiterate. Ron was 38 years old when he discovered how to turn off the disorientation that made normal reading impossible. Unlocking the power of dyslexia means learning to control disorientation, the visual and auditory confusion experienced by all dyslexics.
What I initially discovered was how to turn off disorientation. And I had been trying to read for as long as I could remember and struggling and not able to do that. But when I turned off the disorientation, I could see the words clearly. The words on the bottom of the page were just as big as the ones on the top. There were spaces between the words, there were spaces between the letters, so you didn't have to try to figure out where one word ended and the next one began. I learned how to turn that off. I went to a library and I read a book from cover to cover in one day. Now, I never dreamed of the ability to read a whole book, much less do it in one day. I mean, for me, that kind of a dream would have been a nightmare. I never prayed for the ability to read a whole book. I didn't think that was the kind of prayer that God would answer. So on that day, one day in my life, I had an experience that was beyond my ability to dream and beyond my ability to pray. And as a result of that experience, something happened. It was the first day of my life that I considered myself to be a real whole human being. I wasn't a mistake that God made, or I wasn't a mistake that some doctor made by pinching my brain and ruining it. I was a real human being